Welcome to the third episode of Yeah the Girls, the official Geelong Cats AFLW podcast brought to you by Deakin University, home to the world's #1 sports science school. It's Renee Gehring here and I sit with co-hosts Becky Webster and Georgie Rankin. Good morning, girls.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'll start the timer. I am good, Renee. How are you girls feeling? We're up in Sydney over the weekend, beautiful sunshine weather. Yes.
We were very lucky when we flew out. It was blowing a gale here. It was awful. And we just went to this beautiful sunshine and it was warm.
It was stunning. I actually saw photos near my place and the car park, like the shades had like fully gotten ripped off over the weekend
Really?
with the weather. So I'm glad we didn't have to be here for that.
Yeah, it was good weekend to be away, to be playing. And it was stunning on the Saturday.
Oh, absolutely
That
beautiful.
was warm. I actually got sunburnt. It
Oh,
was
did
bad.
ya? Yeah, a
Yeah.
few people would have got a bit of a tan on. I definitely did
No
up by
tan,
the
just
pool though.
sunburn.
And nice to have the whole team travel.
Yeah.
Obviously away trips. Sometimes it's always a bit of a torn thing having some of the team at home doing training or match sim or whatever it might be. But to be able to have the whole trip team travel was really great. And a scrimmage match post game was able to watch and support those girls that weren't playing in the main game. We have a big show today. We've got a special guest coming on, Jackie Parry, on the back of another 3 goals. 3 goals last week, 3 goals this week. We've got Which Cat Is That? Very excited to see who's going to take away the points today.
Hopefully I get on the scoreboard this week.
Yes. And then we've got Rankin with Georgie Rankin. I've had
Yes,
some
Renee,
feedback
well
on the way that I'm introducing this segment. So I've been working on that and practicing pre-pod. So hopefully Meg
That was
Mac is
perfect.
happy with my introduction to that one.
Well done, Nate. You've done well.
So
Very well.
feeling good after another win on the
4 points.
weekend.
Yeah, I think reflecting on the game from up in the grandstand, watching you girls play, I thought the first quarter was some of the best, really great football, the brand that we wanted to play. And then, to get the 4 points and sort of walk away going, that wasn't probably what we were striving for in terms of our standard of football. But, 4 points at the end of the day is, what we need on the ladder and stuff like that. So, yeah, reflecting on the game, girls, how did you feel out there? The ground, we should mention, was probably a different
Yes.
dimension to what we've been used to out at GMHBA. How did it feel out there? And, still walking away with those 4 points. But, probably not our standard of football we wanted to play for 4 quarters.
I will touch on with the ground. When I was chatting to Rach after the game, she goes, "Yeah, because it's obviously a lot. How much shorter is it?"
A good 30-something metres at least, isn't it?
Something
I
like
think?
that, yeah.
Yeah, so much shorter. So when we're in defence and particularly in that first quarter, and there was a couple where it spends a lot of time in our forward 50, and Rach said you'd have the ones behind her going, "Press up, Rach, press up." She goes, "I'd take about 4 steps and I was set."
I love
There's nowhere to press up the ground because it was so close. But it was, I agree with what you said. There was elements there that I think we all walked off going, not quite where it could have been.
Yep.
But, credit to Swans, they did turn it on and their pressure, came and they were putting us under the pump for, a big chunk of time throughout the quarters. But as you said, there were some really nice passages and there's some players that really stood up from, I think, leading from the front in that let's just keep next foot in front of the other type attitude, I think, and really not letting it get in our heads and really drop.
Completely.
Yeah, and I think that's it. It was one of those games that the inside 50s were coming for the opposition and for the defence. You guys were under the pump because if they get a mark in the middle of the ground, one more kick and it was inside 50. So everyone had to stay focused and concentrating at all times. And I think that was something that needed to be considered for those that were playing in the middle of the ground and the high forwards and the wings to try and adjust to the different length of the ground.
Completely.
I was playing in that role for portions of the game and to try and press up and support the defence when they got out, but then it could quite easily turn over and then you need to get back to support follow the ball or to be an option. So it was certainly different for us, and I think, as you say, the post-game feel, although we got the 4 points and we got it done, there's lots of things that we'll take out of that game. We're not sitting content, I think, with some aspects of the game in the way that we played.
And touching on that, I think it's super important that we all sort of had that feeling, because it means that we're striving for a certain game style that we want to execute, and it's not about, you know, winning as such. Usually the outcome does work itself out when we're playing our best footy. So, you know, to all sort of have that same sort of feeling of, we had really great moments, but we also had moments where it just wasn't our brand, and to still, you know, come away with that 4 points is great, but it just shows our maturity and what we want to achieve throughout each game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you know, then we need to shout out the ones like Chloe Shear, who did kick 5 goals, which is a career high for her. Yeah. So that was unreal. And then you had, you know, contributions from Neen's kicking a goal, AMAC, obviously Jackie, our special guest.
Yeah.
Have I missed anyone? Did we have?
That was it.
That was it?
Yeah. Was that our only goal scorers?
Yeah.
8, 10, of course. Shuri 5-3. Yeah.
Which was just really nice to see that, you know, carried across a few players there. And then, as we've mentioned, some, you know, they were giving some serious attention to some of our inside mids and the way that they got around each other and provided that support, and whether it's an extra bump as they're running past and really trying to free each other up. I just thought even that showed the maturity in our group of going, no, you know what?
Yeah. I'm
actually not going to let you do that. I'm going to stick up for my teammate.
Gary again. Right timing.
We really like to back each other in. I think we've got that sense now, whereas I think in the past when we were a bit younger, we might have just gone, everyone just, you know, stands in their spot, and you don't really have that, no, you know what, I've actually moved out of the way.
Yeah.
Don't think you can just take the mickey out of me here, because I'm ready to play and I'm going to stand up for the ones around me too. Yeah,
completely. I thought, across the board we had some really great players, which helps, get that win on the day, doesn't it? You know, Shuri kicking 5 comes off the back of a lot of other people around her, which is great. So, massive shout out to her. Do we want to talk about who...
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll head into our High Performer of the Week, which is presented by Deakin University, a global leader in sport education. And we do want to make a special mention to Chloe Shear in some great spots. I think one was a right foot snap, one was a left foot snap. A couple she got from the goal square. One was, I think, Spud thought it might have been going through and being her goal, but I think it was a bit of a risky one.
Do you know what? Watching it back, we all said, we're like, Shiri, you've really robbed her here. But watching it back,
it could have bounced anywhere, or her player would have potentially touched it too.
Agreed.
So unfortunately for Spud, she would have liked to get that one on the board for her. But no, a great game by Chloe.
And you nearly got one too. Yeah, we spoke after the game when you got it, and I just thought, nay, for 25 games, it's going to go straight through. And then did the team thing, gave the hands off to Shiri.
There, I'm like, Shiri's there. Let her have it. No, but we would like to put forward and recognise Nina Morrison for our High Performer of the Week. Yes. Lots in her game. Her tackle pressure, I think she got a couple of holding the balls. She was everywhere in that, and her contested work, but particularly her ability to get the ball from inside to out. Wasn't she clean, the in and under, but the ability to evade and to get away from her opponent. What else was it, G, that you thought in her game?
I was so impressed with how clean she was, and she was one that I think her alongside, you know, she spoke to me a bit after the game how good AMAC was in driving it too, but just in that of what I was talking about before when they were really getting into them, just not phased in the slightest. She plays her game really in the zone, and I think you're right, the way that she brings her teammates into the game is something that I've always really admired about her, and she continues to do that week in, week out, and just really the quality of her disposals, it's not one is wasted.
Yeah, completely. Watching from the side, I thought, Nina's work rate around the footy allows her to be able to be so dangerous when she's got it in her hands. But that second phase running and ability to shut down opposition and have a turnover was amazing on the weekend. But as you said, G, her selflessness around the contest and, you know, really trying to help out Perez when she was getting a hard tag as well, definitely didn't go unnoticed. And for her to have such a great game off the back of, you know, trying to help everyone else around her is just a credit to her. But High Performer of the Week, Nina Morrison, congratulations.
All right, coming up after a little bit of a break, we have Jackie Parry, our guest, so stay tuned.
Looking for a future in sport? Be ready to transform the industry. Deakin's School of Exercise and Nutrition Science is ranked #1 in the world. Study with them and be prepared to refine what it means to work in sport. Plus experience priceless practical experience with elite industry partners. head to deakin.edu.au.
Alrighty, and we're back and we've got our special guest, Jackie Parry, after another amazing performance on the weekend. So, Jackie, how are you feeling?
Good, yep.
Good. First time guest, first time listener. No, she knows what happens here on the potty, but you like to have a little bit of time away from what's going on in the footy world sometimes. You were just telling us.
Yeah, I think in my first few seasons of footy, I was all over the news, listened to all the podcasts, watched all the videos, read the news, did all that. And then I just didn't think it was particularly helpful mentally. When I could switch off from footy, I thought maybe I should put all that away. And I was just mentioning to you guys that I've muted all of the AFLW pages on Instagram. So when I'm having a scroll, I'm not still thinking about footy. It's, other stuff.
That's nice.
I love that. That is so good. Well, Jack, you've started with 3 goals last week. You've backed it up with another 3 goals this week. You're sitting at 6, and your career high is 9 goals. So you are well over halfway there. Did you know that?
I
You
had
didn't
a
you?
suspicion, yeah. Last week when I kicked 3, I was like, I kicked 3 overall last year. Won't tell you how many behinds I kicked, but yeah, it was definitely on my mind on my accuracy in front of goals. So yeah, definitely happy with how that's going so far.
Absolutely. And, we were talking before you even came on, the work that you've done in the preseason. I mean, I've seen it firsthand. We've had a lot of times being matched up against each other at training, which I love because, you take me across the ground. Your work rate is so high, but I've just really seen the way you've narrowed in on your craft. I know we briefly touched on when we were away going for a walk pre-game, just that connection that you've had with Brucey and your relationship there of your forward craft and being able to lean on him. But do you want to talk to the listeners a bit about what you have worked on in the off-season and just, the accuracy that you're talking about, because it doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah, no, I think it's interesting. One of my old coaches used to say, it's not about confidence, it's about being, knowing your craft. And if you if you know you've done the work and you can go through the process, then you don't need confidence. So I think in the off season, I worked on my goal kicking through and through. And so I knew that if I came up in front of goals, I knew I'd done the work. So it didn't matter if I was confident or not confident that I could put it through. So yeah.
What's your process, Jackie?
Well, I've actually stripped it back a bit. With the help of Dan and Brucey, it's just kick the ball as you would around the ground. Don't have your 4 steps walk, 4 steps run. Like, it was so rigid before. Now it's just find a point, narrow in on that point, and just kick it to it as if it was a teammate. Which, I think has shown that it's worked if you just strip it back a little bit rather than overthink it, which I love to do. I love to overthink things.
Don't we all?
No, it's absolutely working, Jackie, and we're loving watching you out there. You didn't start your footy career at the Cats, obviously at Melbourne since 2020. Was footy something that was always on the cards for you? Can you tell us a little bit about your pathway to footy? Our listeners love to get to know our different guests, and we'd love to hear a bit more about your journey to footy and to where you are today.
Yeah, started as a little Oz kicker. So Dad used to take me down to the local Oz kick in my North Melbourne Guernsey, because I was a huge North Melbourne supporter, and absolutely loved it. Then I went and played for Paran Sharks up until I was about, under 11s maybe. I was the only girl on the team, classic story. And then I'm also, classic story, got told,
Can't play anymore.
Can't play anymore. So I went to play soccer. I think I love an open ground. Netball, basketball probably didn't suit my want to run around a grass paddock. So, I went to soccer. I tried to play relatively competitive soccer. Got a couple of games in the Premier League, but I guess it probably wasn't my natural skill. I do love to use my hands. So when I went to university, I played for the local team there. That was second grade Canberra. a lot of fun, probably more drinking than playing football.
Drinking Gatorades.
Yeah. And then I thought, I could give this a crack. When I played first grade, played a year there, then got picked up by Melbourne. So it was a pretty quick turnaround.
Did you apply for the draft, Jackie? Like, how did that process work?
Yeah, so I went through the draft. I was in chats with Melbourne and GWS, so I think it was a conversation piece on where I wanted to live. And I'm from Melbourne. Mum and Dad were here. It was going to be a bit of an easier transition rather than trying to find somewhere affordable to live in Sydney.
Yeah.
And when you're playing in Canberra, were you always a forward? Was it forward from day one? Is that?
No, you wouldn't believe it. Midfielder.
The big mini.
Yeah. I believe it. Yeah.
And then I think when I went and played first grade, I think they saw me more as a forward, so played more forward there.
And did that transition, like in soccer, what position were you growing up in soccer?
Midfield.
As well,
Yeah, so funnily enough in soccer as a midfield, you do a lot of running, but it's not as much pace as it is just kind of running around the field, passing it off. Probably not much of a natural defender. They've never had me there, so.
No, we love it, Jackie. With the Matildas being on with the World Cup, I've loved watching your support for the team. I think you're probably one of the most invested out of all us girls when that was on, and not to mention as well Tom as well. He got around it so much, and I've loved watching his support with you. Last season and this season as well. Went up to Sydney. I know you've got some sisters living up there, all the fam around. But do you have any shout outs for Tom? I know he's a big supporter of you, and I love how he pulls out the paper and he's reading about the soccer and reading about the girls and doing all that. I always see the Instagrams, but shout out to him.
Oh, absolutely. I actually, he's got a fantasy team, and I told him, cut myself off from social media. I was like, you are not allowed to speak about it with me. I don't want to know. And I caught him in the bedroom the other day listening to a AFLW fantasy podcast. So he is AFLW's biggest fan. And it was so lovely. He got all of my friends up from Canberra on the weekend, so I had a big support crew up in Sydney, and he organised all that, and he made some signs. So
Gem.
yeah, I know.
I'm came along
partially
to
lucky.
our half triathlon that we did.
Yeah, he even came. When we did a triathlon. Oh, sorry, half.
Yeah,
Just a pre-season gig.
Yeah.
No, we love it. I've got a random one for you, actually. Obviously, we went away to Adelaide for the practice match. Just come back from Sydney, and we've got another one in Adelaide in a couple of weeks. Who would you love to sit next to on the plane? Or if we could share rooms again, is there someone that you would like to be around more so than someone else?
I might throw Ash under the bus here. On the way up, I had the window seat, and I was very excited about the window seat. And I get to my seat, and she's sitting in it.
Of course.
And then, credit to her, Doc made her sit there and said, she's never been to Sydney, she wants to see the Opera House.
Of course, Dr. Tom pulled that out.
So I had to cop the middle seat, but no, it was, when I saw her get a camera out and take photos, I was like, this is all worth it. So, but no, I think happy to sit next to anybody.
Yeah, it's nice.
Spud will talk a lot, so if I want to if I want to have a nap, I probably wouldn't want to sit next to her. But, no, it's anyone.
Love it.
We love that.
Definitely. All right, it's come to the time where we are going to play our game, Jackie. It's called Which Cat Is That? And each week I have a few clues, 8 clues in total, if we get to that point, about one of our teammates. They start a bit harder or more general, and then they get more specific that hopefully by the end one of you will guess who it is. Last week we got to clue 8. It was Meg Mac. There's a clue for you, it won't be her. Last week. As we play, you've got one guess. So if you want to buzz in at some point, we're going to test our buzzers in a moment. It can be a name, it can be a sound. G might have something a bit different for us this week. So we're going to test our buzzers in a moment. And when you buzz in, obviously, have your guess. If it's correct, good for you. You get the point for the guests. The guests are on 1. Finchy had a win when he was on board in our first episode, and then G got the win last week, so G's on 1, and Becky's
I think I was pretty
hoping
lucky
that
having
today.
Yes.
Becky's hoping to get her first win today. So, Becky, rolling with the same buzzer today?
No, I'm changing it up. I'm going 21.
Oh, I like it.
If I remember this time and not say Buzz.
Well, now I feel like I've got to stay on theme. I was going to
No, you
change
don't
it up
have
too.
to,
No,
no.
I'll stay on theme. So I'll go 10.
10.
5.
Golden jumper numbers. Love it. All right. We're starting. All right, first clue. We'll do this so we can't look ahead. This cat has played at least 10 games of AFLW. This cat came through our VFLW program. This cat's first job was picking up golf balls at the driving range. This cat played netball and basketball growing up. Clue 5. In this cat's first season, she played in defence. This cat owns a dog.
Oh my God. Wait, slow down.
Slow down. All right, thinking time.
I just need to
some thinking
reflect. I
music.
need to reflect a little bit. Oh, can we have thinking music?
Might put you off more than...
Oh my God, how many do we have left? Only
we've got 2 clues.
Dog.
All right.
I thought I had it, but the dog threw me, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no, never mind.
No?
Keep going.
Okay. This cat lives with a current teammate.
Oh.
Oh, this is so bad.
The next one, you're going to get it after the next one.
Wait, can we
Wow,
pause?
I'm
All right.
Pause,
just gonna-
thinking.
21.
Yeah, go. I reckon you know.
Liv Fuller.
Nah. Oh, sorry.
It is
I love
not.
that. that.
5.
Gigi.
Oh.
5. Yep. Jackie.
Skinner.
It's not Skinner. It's not
10.
Fuller.
AMAC.
It is Amy McDonald. The last clue was
Of course.
this cat has a teammate's initials tattoo on her
Oh my
ankle.
goodness. I actually thought it might have been you to
I just
start
didn't
with.
even... Defence threw me.
Yeah.
AMAC in defence must have thrown me.
The at least
Yeah,
10
she did
games
start
through
in
me. She's
defence.
played many.
And then
I
she's
had to
obviously come
disregard the
into
golf
middle.
balls. I was like, I've got no
Yeah,
idea.
because I was like thinking golf balls as well.
I know, she didn't think anyone would know that. And I was like, I wonder if it's come up in conversation at some
Oh,
point. that
I'm
was
so
just-
disappointed.
So,
I
Amy
thought you had it.
McDonald.
That's why I was like, go, Becky. Come on, Becky.
Oh, no. I just
So G,
had a
2 points
mind.
for G. Well done, G.
Yes.
Welcome to the game, Jack. You're good. Liv Fuller, obviously, and Skinner do have live with each other.
She
Actually,
doesn't have
don't
a
they?
dog,
They
though.
have
I
dogs.
thought maybe you had it wrong.
Fuller has a
Yeah,
dog.
Fuller has
Fuller
a
does
dog.
the dog.
Yeah, and you're right.
You
She's
have it wrong.
But then I was
Game,
like,
but you
no,
have it
she
wrong.
hasn't played in defence, has she?
Yeah, I don't think she played in defence.
I didn't know
But
AMAC had played in defence.
Yeah.
She did,
Yeah, that
she
threw
started
me. I
Played on
forgot
the
about that. Wing.
And then,
Wow.
yeah, she's gone inside.
Everywhere.
after there.
She's close to 50, is she? She must be.
Well,
No,
Jules is
not
going to
yet.
hit it first.
Yeah, Meg, even.
Is Meg
Before
about
that.
to-
Yeah, I'd
Is
say
she?
Meg's. I think Meg's the
No, I
mo-
think Jules is the first. From someone told me that
we'll-
she was.
We'll check that. I think Meg, because Meg had games at Bulldogs first.
Oh, sorry.
Getting a nod,
yeah,
yes.
okay.
So it looks like Meg Mac
Jake
is
knows.
first, but Croc, for us, has played the most games for us.
Oh, for
the
us.
Cats.
Ah,
But
okay,
she is
there
very
you go.
close. So we're going to have a few 50 gamers, which is really exciting. Well done to you all. G gets the points, point, I should say, for
Leading.
the week.
I'm
so
leading.
leading on to, after the break, we are coming back with Rankin with Georgie Rankin. I must
Do it again.
We're coming back with Rankin with Georgie Rankin.
Woo, that's the one.
I'll practice it all week before next week's podcast. But no, we're very excited. G, got a good topic coming up, so
do.
stay tuned.
Thanks, Jack.
Thank you,
Thank you, Jackie.
Jackie.
So
Thanks for
great.
having us.
Support our AFLW program and the development of women's football today with an AFLW supporter membership. Plus, enjoy access to 2 AFLW home and away games in 2023. Access to Cats AFLW games, a Cat Shop voucher valued at $20, member perks from the Cats and our partners, and get all the latest Cats news direct to your inbox. All for just $50. Visit membership.geelongcats.com.au for details. We are back with Rankin, with Georgie Rankin.
Well done, Nate. That was good. That was really smooth.
I think Meg will love that.
She
Okay,
will love
good.
that one.
Okay.
So this week, I have said this morning already, I was a little bit stressed because I was lying in bed this morning. I had half an hour until my alarm was going to go off, thinking, I still don't have a topic. What am I going to rank? Because every time we go
Well,
away,
honestly, it's with the short turnaround of coming back from a interstate trip. I was laying in bed this morning going, shit, I've got the podcast. I don't know what I'm talking about today. Like,
I know, I
so I
really
could
was
imagine you actually having to come up with your segment every week.
thinking about it because I'd always thought when we go on an away trip, I'm going to actually take note of some of the things that happened. And I was asking, I had Bells and Neens came around yesterday. We were watching the footy and Nina was giving me, well, I convinced people that I'd passed out in the sauna for 20 minutes the other day. And I was like,
what?
Yeah, apparently were you there?
No.
Over dinner. She said she was convincing her table that I'm not entirely sure why. Anyway, so I thought, oh yeah, that could be one. I'll find out some other things that happened. And I went, nah. Scrap that.
Did she actually pass out in the sauna? Well, I'm so confused.
No, I think Jackie was asking, how do you do the sauna? Like, what's involved?
And she's taken the piss and said,
and then she's gone and
gotcha.
And
okay.
anyway,
so I'm following Nina up after
that.
Well, I think it was meant to be funny moments that happen on away trips. Yeah. She was just trying to help me out, bless her soul.
She just wanted herself in there, I think.
One away trip, I will make sure I'd key down some things that happen. But instead, I thought, well, how about I touch on, our top 5 seasoned players on our away trips. So seasoned, I don't really know how to.
Travellers?
Seasoned travellers? Yeah, let's go with that. A top
Nice.
5 seasoned travellers. So starting in at number 5, I've got Nay because I wandered down the aisle and I saw you there working away. Doing some
some schoolwork.
Some schoolwork.
Even though I'm on mat leave.
I was going to say she's not working at the moment, doing schoolwork.
But you
Love
have
that.
over the years, that's your time. You go, all right, we're getting away. You're on the plane flight. It's the perfect time. You've got no one pestering you. You get some work done. You've really been good at in the past, I feel like. I'm not great at preparing for these away trips and I'll be starving on the other side and you've got a muesli bar for me or a little snack. It's probably mum things really.
Got to pack snacks. Yeah.
But I really thought you should come in there at number 5 for us. And you have in the past as well found a little coffee shop or what time we're meeting in the morning and you make sure we're all together. So I feel like you're very much a seasoned traveller. So that's coming in at number 5. Number 4, shout out to our girl Bowie. She, as we all know, she loves to do the braids, the multiple braids. I mean, this trip she actually brought her girlfriend with her to make sure the braids were done.
Yes.
But I know sometimes in the past she'll have her silk pillowcase so that if it's done the day before, she's not messing the hair. She always seems to have a new pair of sneakers. She's very much
fashionable on the
very
plane.
fashionable, isn't she? Like one of those ones that you see them capture the celebs and they're just looking that comfort but super cool. And I don't have that super cool element at all to when I get ready. So well done, Bowie. You came in at number 4. Number 3 was you, Becky, because I'm not sure if we've ever had it up on the socials, but particularly I reckon a couple of seasons ago, we would go on trips and have late flights coming back and there would be Becky having put her pajamas on, a face mask. While we're flying back on the plane, your self-care routine is absolutely perfect. And I know we've joked about the fact that we do not know how some people, I might be giving a later one away, but how some people come with only one bag or such little luggage.
I couldn't fit my toiletries in one bag.
I've got 2 toiletries bags.
But
you also have the slippers most of the time. I feel like you make sure that comfort is also key in your travel. Not one thing gets left behind.
Completely.
So well done, Beck. You're in
Thanks,
at number
G.
3. Now we got our top 2 and they're both probably on different ends of the scale, I reckon.
Love this.
So number 2 is our girl Meggie. She comes with about 2 carry-on bags plus a bum bag and then her suitcase. Everything is bought with her.
And her Theragun.
Theragun as well.
Theragun,
Its own
the
bag.
little bum bag. And I actually don't really know what she's got in there, but I reckon if you asked her for something, she'd have it.
Yeah,
she
completely.
really has the whole kit and caboodle. And we used to get on and it would take her a good, I reckon 10 minutes to get her stuff sorted. What's going over the top? What goes underneath the seat in front? What does she want to be able to read or be on her, iPad or whatever it is? But in saying that, she makes sure that she's fully prepared. So the next morning when we go for our coffee, she's got headphones around. She's got her sunnies on.
She is
she's
actually
got her
really
pink bum bag.
so cute. The coffee fit.
Coffee fit.
And actually at the airport, her walking into the the convenience store and getting 3 different hydration drinks.
That's so right.
The gum, the whatever mints that she needs. I'm like, girl, you are set.
She is set. She does, doesn't she? She gets the 2-litre Gatorade bottles sometimes. Always. She's got everything you need.
Everything you need.
You know what, if I was thinking who I want to sit next to on the plane or if we went back to rooming, I'd be
you'd want to
wanting
room with her in her mansion suites that she can.
True. Should we touch on that? It's probably a highlight of most of the away trips that when we go away, everyone waits for the
video.
Tour.
We didn't get
Meg's
one.
room. No, but I don't think she had a...
Yeah, this is the first time. So she always has the suite, and it has the big spa bath. Most of the time there's a full living room with couches. Anyway, she's obviously the skip for a reason, but it's actually the highlight of I think my favourite thing is she has the camera, and even when she turns, she doesn't flip it.
No,
So it'll be like just the top of her forehead while she's filming everything around. It's just gold. Anyway, maybe we could get some content for the gram one time.
Absolutely.
Okay. Wow, Meg got a big plug there. Number 1, and I love this girl, and the simplicity, it goes to Scotty. She is a one-bag traveller, and few people jumped on board this trip, but even on game day. So she's got boots.
I
the runners she's
generally
wearing.
cannot understand and fathom how she does that. Generally, I'm like... And it's not like it's full to the brim. Her
No.
backpack looks like my backpack coming to training. Like,
It is truly amazing. She's got everything that she needs. She's like, travel light, mate. Simplicity. I was sitting
Bless.
on the plane with her and Shiri, and we sat down, and she goes to me, "Gee, I've had a lot of conversations this morning, all quality, but I've just been talking a lot." And I said, "It's okay, Scotty. I don't expect you to
don't
talk
need
to me."
I sat next to her on the bus, so maybe I'll talk to her too much.
But it got to a certain point that we all looked at each other, Shiri one side, Scotty on the other. We went, "Yeah, it's time." Headphones went in, and there was
love
no
it.
chat for the rest of the trip. Anyway, love Scotty. Just the simplicity. She's got everything she needs, and one bag traveller. So well done, Scotty. You can come in at number 1, season. What did you say, Jake? Season traveller.
Season traveller.
season traveller.
So there we go.
Great
Love
work,
it.
G. Well, I think you've done very well. The topic
Thank
came
you.
in great. And we can't wrap up today without chatting about this week's game. So
Yes.
it
We're
is
back
a Friday
here.
game. We're back home, 5:05 against North Melbourne, and we know they're a quality outfit. They had a win on the weekend, or yesterday actually, 66-6 against Carlton. The last time we played them, you both played.
Pulling
How
on
we-
some heartstrings there.
Yeah. Do you like for you? Like, do you think back to that game leading into this weekend, or is it different? We know our side's slightly different, but we've had a lot of development over the off season, leading to this game.
Yeah, I think there is a real, I don't know, I feel like there's a bit of a rivalry there. Whenever we play them, there's a real, I mean, we want to win every game, but
Hunger, yeah.
there's a real hunger in the group. And I mean, it makes a difference, off the back of this. But I do feel that we've played some good footy against them, and we've had some close games where we go, we can get this
Yeah.
group
Yeah.
when we play at our best, and it's going to take some consistency, which is one of our values. But I really think it'll take some real consistency this weekend and that maturity that we're seeing. And I think that's as you said, with a new look, may be something new for them
Yeah,
to come up
completely.
against.
And I think as well, like going back to the Sydney game and our first 2 games in this season, we're really reflecting on ourselves a lot more, what we want to bring to the table and what our standard is. And I think coming in against North, we're not really reflecting too much on them. And obviously we will do our match review beforehand and have a bit of a gaze on what they're looking like. But for us, it is really honing on what we
About
want to
us,
achieve
yeah.
for the game and how we will play that out. But it's got a really good feel this week. I've had a few conversations, and I think, we're striving for that standard, and, the outcome will sort itself out if we're hitting those markers.
I agree. I think that's the thing, isn't it? Like, in terms of we trust our system and our structure.
Yeah, completely.
And,
we're not trying to reinvent the wheel here this week
No.
or anything, so
No, and
exciting.
as you say, I think we'll do the preparation. We know they've got they have a forward line with a few tools in it that, again, if we play our structure and the way that we want to play, we can hopefully negate that. And the work that we know our inside mids getting the ball going forward in our forward structure that looks a little bit different to last season, the last time that we played them in that final.
Yeah, looking at, I think often now you look across the ground, and there is so much trust in each person. I think what you've seen, or what I've noticed in the first couple rounds is people that really take their moment when it comes. And there's a number of those. Like I even think, if I do quickly go back to the Sydney game, there was one where Rach has just come off the halfback and hit the ball at full speed, lost her opponent, really decided to press up and then got it in towards our A-mid, just outside the forward 50. And just something like that has actually stuck in my brain since then, going, you just took that and you ran with it and you took your moment. And I 100% trusted that when you took off, you were going to, find that footy. And Zal's had a moment where she's coming off the halfback and she just backed her leg speed.
Took it on.
So you can see that across the ground and that trust of going, it doesn't matter, as you said, who our opposition is, because we have now everyone understands is really tapping into that. Play your role, take your moment,
completely,
and then support your teammates as they're getting their moment too.
Yeah, completely. Back at GMHBA.
Back at GMHBA Friday. It's going to be good weather. I think I looked at the forecast for the week's 20s, 27 I think, for training Thursday night, which would be great. But
spring.
So we hope everyone can get out 5:05 here at GMHBA. It's going to be a great game. We're really excited to take on North again.
And I think school holidays as of that day. So bring the kids, come down.
Get down.
Yeah. Start off the holidays well.
Most schools will finish early, so plenty of time to get to the game, which is awesome. So that wraps us up for another pod for the week, another episode. Stay tuned for next week. We're looking forward to who our special guest will be for next week. And thank you to our sponsors, Deakin University. Thank you, Georgie. Thank you, Becky.
Thanks, Nate.
Thanks, guys. See ya.